다 가상 로릭 뒤에서에 한국에 소제 안에 되네 왕병 무슨다 이기고 som사시 지난당은 저 왕비셰바 내려 되네 안에가 저기 내 디시소단에 이기셰바 똑반 남도 왕부 기고래서 또이 왕비셰바 저기 그때 왕비셰바라 되네 안디시소 장배 똑바 남도 다마라 계체네 되샤 컨트롤라 소바다 님 직망부지 기고래서 되네자 안에 직되네 경고래서 되네자 당한 저기 수상하냐 남도다 직 컨트롤다 되샤다 되니기 님모 디시에게 된다라 몸벽고 담바세지 되네 진남행기 초다 컨트롤라야다 되네 차당 계획이 안에 잘라서가 많이 봐제 원비시가 많이 봐가야다 되네 인지게 차단기에 유일라서 봐 미기 마다와 장한테 봐 가오 샤바이나 온도 고탄 봐서 언제니게 제바이나 내가 저기 가서래 차단기에다 남도기에를 뉴르고를 된자 셈래야 안에 뢰체다 시디체 용거래서 언도 가서 디고랑 주시죠.
Good morning. So last night we started to look again at the presentation on Lorig, on awareness and knowers. And we mentioned last night that consciousness can be divided in many ways, and we mentioned the more common sevenfold division, which is something we'll come to in some detail later. But what we spoke more about last night is a twofold division of consciousness into sense consciousnesses and mental consciousnesses. So sense consciousnesses we spoke about in some detail, that we have these 5 sense consciousnesses. And they come about independent, or they have as an object of that particular sense. And so when the object of the sense consciousness arises to the sense, or appears to the sense consciousness, then from this sense consciousness, a variety of over-conceptualizing minds arise, this mental busyness that we have. So for example, if we see or hear something that we find pleasurable or desirable, then that object arises to or appears to our sense consciousness, and then a variety of mental consciousnesses follow from this. All these over-conceptualizing minds, such as attachment or desire. And from these then, the wish, I want, I must have, and a variety of activities are engaged in. Likewise, when an object of the senses appears to a sense consciousness that is undesirable, then there's these over-conceptualizing mental consciousnesses arise, and here aversion arises. We try to push away this unwanted object, whether it's an object of sight, object of sound or smell or taste or touch. We become averse to it. We see it, in a sense, as an enemy, something to be eliminated, something to be separated from. So we spoke then last night about the need to come to recognize this process within ourselves, and the greater the clarity we develop through familiarization, through meditating on this topic, the greater will be our understanding of how our mind works, and naturally the wish will arise to separate ourselves from these objects that lead to the afflicted minds later arising, because we'll see this disturbs us. It prevents the attainment of peace, but rather strengthens our attachment and our pride and our anger. We also spoke about how through training further and further in this, we can actually eventually come to relate very differently to those same objects.
네네 자다가 저기 얘네 가서 망보 지금 삼마다 지금 똑반 남도 지게 돼 망보 가려운 것은 녀마디와 가서 지금 미기 통제 한수 지게 미 이제 잘라이나 미 지게 죄방한 배제기 저 통화에는 가서 저기 지금 알아야 되니 제소 선비게 가서 저기 전제 안에 안도 전제 안텔이야 코로나지 배독자셔서 같이 디딩고라 미기 통매나 네 자스가요 말아 디나신 칭년바지 미 균주지 칭년바 소소를 균주배 마베 칙독자 라바이나 저기 디 고위 갑라야 근데 지게 셈마디고 코로나야다 안데 아직 디네 고사는 유니고 침바이네 셈레 디냐마 고교디 야네 야도 대제 말이야 고 디네 시선다 고 두제 디네 라 베자데 디네 고 셈마기와 차데 디 용가디 고 암초를 고 왔더니 용고로 봐 지산 원베시에비게 고 왔더니 아니 디네게 직 두자다 가제 제바나 소소 암초 고 매바나 아니 소소 어디 걸 갈라기 나면 갈랍나 말랍네 같이 교제 제외나 소소 암주 먹거나 니네 소소 미디레 코로나야다 근데 남도지 셈 마기와 차요 말아 어디 나시 당아 저 옹베셰비 때 제수 장제가 남도 먹부게다 되샤 콘도 하는 가야 먹부게디 옹베셰비 제수 장제 먹부디고 되네자 아주 옹베셰바데 하고 왔지 아니데 바가바이나 옹베셰비기디 바 가샤바이나 아니 직디 초를 마다제 녀다 잔녀다 술을 따야 되게 봐 가샤바이나 되네 디체스 잡에 똑바 남도 맞게와지 근데 용요 바래 되네 장안 저기 직죄 냠는 집에 갑래네 되네게 차나기 초초요 바이나 이제 원벽과 담바고 그래 고 담고 그래 해야지 어찌기 돈에 네 랍지 용고래
It's really of quite some importance to engage in these meditations so that one gains strong familiarity and in this way certainty with the validity of the presentation. Because on the basis then of that knowledge and experience, one will be able to then change one's behavior. So an illustration of how we do experience this a lot is of the five sense consciousnesses. The ones that impact on us most will be things that we either see or hear. So the process for all five is the same, but these two are probably those that have the strongest impact on us. So let's take an example of where an object is someone's speech. So it's the speech of someone, or perhaps just merely seeing someone, so an object of the ear consciousness or of the eye consciousness. Or observing, seeing a type of behavior, or seeing a particular object, a material object. So whatever it may be, something one sees or hears, but something one doesn't like, perhaps someone speaks to us in an unwanted manner, criticizes us or expresses a view that we really don't agree with. What happens then is this object appears to our sense consciousness, and then the resulting mental consciousnesses come. And in that moment, aversion arises, anger arises. We see this person who's acting this way or speaking this way as someone to separate from, someone we want nothing to do with, someone we look down on. So we have all these over-conceptualizing mental consciousnesses arising. But the process doesn't end there. Then we leave that situation, we're away from the person, we're going on with our day, but we're still recalling what was said or what we observed earlier. And our mind is going on and on and on about what we observed earlier in the day or perhaps a few days before. And what's the benefit of this? Absolutely nothing. Our mental peace is lost. There's no chance of happiness to be experienced because we're going on and on about what we heard or what we saw. So we need to come to see the validity of this for ourselves. And when we see the validity of this, we'll understand what are the objects that trigger this process. And then it'll be very easy to be mindful that when we encounter such an object, that we need to either separate ourselves from the object or guard our mind, take care of our mind. Because this now is a situation of danger. This is a situation now when we're encountering someone that we really don't like, or we're hearing a view expressed that we don't agree with. This is a situation of danger in that our afflictions are likely to arise. So this experiential knowledge, this experience only comes about in dependence on coming to understand topics such as these and then reflecting on them repeatedly. So therefore it's important to come to understand this topic well.
Jampa, Geshe, lama, Lorig Session,
And last night we spoke about the the way that minds can be divided into valid and non-valid cognizers. So if we look in the book, I think this is near the bottom of page 2. And then we also mentioned what the more detailed division, which is the sevenfold division, which is into direct perception, inferential perception, inferential valid cognizers, direct valid cognizers. Yitra again. So there's correct assumption, subsequent cognition, non-ascertaining awareness, doubt, and wrong consciousnesses. So we just mentioned those 7 last night. They will come up in much more detail later.
Tsema se de la ya yewa che ga sa lo de la ya yewa che de ya ri ni che tsema sa da tsemen yi lo sa de ni chi go ro tsema da tsemen yi tsema yin gi lo chi da tsema ma yin lo sa chi ni chi go ro.
As valid cognizers, then these gonna tsema erogena. So when awareness is divided, as we see here in the middle of the second page, divisions of awarenesses into 2, valid cognizers and non-valid cognizers. And then so we see awareness can be divided into valid cognizers and non-valid cognizers. And that first division, valid cognizers, is then itself subdivided. And this we see right at the bottom of the second page. Valid cognizers are subdivided into direct valid cognizers and inferential valid cognizers.
Denegi migi shebe tangbo medo tobi hagu kwen tsemadi ane lotila ane tsemasi migi kase ngosumi tsemasi gro ngosumi tsema.
An illustration then of a direct valid cognizer is, for example, if the eye sense consciousness sees a flower. So it's the seeing of the flower with an eye sense consciousness. This eye sense consciousness is an illustration of a direct valid cognizer.
And in Ashinda, Jain Masona Amchuka Tangbo, Gone, Tangbo Haku, and Lot Nayu Osumdi, and the Tsemache, Tsema Osumi Tsema, Tinajin Tilmasona teaching Numje, Tangbo Haku and Gi, and it Nishi Badia, and it Osumi Tsema. Tinashinda, Roll Masona, Roll Nyonche, Nama, Juma Carino, and the Rotangbo Haku and it Jishi Badilla, and Osumi Tsemare. Dina Shinga to Dulo, Nana, Racharo, Raja the Tangbo Nyonche, Tangbo Hawa Karina, Tangmoina, Tangbo Hago, and Rachadi, Tsamadi, Luki Shebadi, and it's Tsamachagore. This is Chasa, Geshe Tangbodi. Then Niba Chando, they were Desoyan, Chishe Sacha, Tsama Maimba Charo. Tanga to one Bungosumi, Tsama Sadilla, the Negi Yu, Tone, Wonsumdo, and the Tangbo Tone, Dunjina Majawa, Sawa, Yu, Tangbo Topig. So this is an illustration of a direct valid cognizer, and it relates then to all the sense consciousnesses. And as we heard last night in the definition of direct valid cognizer, there is the term new, which refers to a direct valid cognizer is only the very first moment that an object is cognized. So when we hear sound, that sound appears to consciousness, and this awareness, this consciousness, that hears it directly, without the use, without relying on a meaning generality. This is a direct valid cognizer. It's an ear sense consciousness, and this ear sense consciousness is a direct valid cognizer. Likewise, when we taste something, and this taste, whether it's sweet or sour, this taste appears to our taste sense consciousness, and the very first moment of that is a direct valid cognizer. Similarly with smell and with touch. So we're wearing clothes, we're feeling this contact against our skin, that very first moment of awareness to which this touch appears,
that is a sense consciousness, a tactile sense consciousness, and that very first moment is a direct valid cognizer. The second and subsequent moment of all of these sense consciousnesses are no longer direct valid cognizers, but rather subsequent cognizers. Here we're emphasizing that it's only the first moment is a direct valid cognizer, and this relates to all the sense consciousnesses. And moreover, the object is interacted with directly, not via a meaning generality. The second type of valid cognizer is inferential valid cognizer. So an inferential valid cognizer is not a direct valid cognizer. So the object isn't engaged with directly, but rather in dependence on a reason. So in dependence on a reason, the object is engaged with.
Penny Shingna Shimbushin Tavana, that Shingna di Nalo Medu Medu said, Tarum, the Nanga Mayor Bahaku Marva. Cisa Denia, Shingna Ginia, Shina Duo Mashu, Dungu Vena, Duo Dumbating as Migi Tunguar. Cisati, Duan Dumba the Migi Tonje, I won't be shaping Duo de Mosum Dogore, Duo to Bigi, Sema, one Mosum Sema, the Mosum Semare. Then Anzuki made Dua do, Stephanie, Dua Dungu Sine. Dua Gumchen Jeje, Dua Gumchen. Gumchen Garson, Dua Yubi Gumchen Jeje, that Dua Shinan in Nanola, Mayor, Mebargo, Mayores, Yore, Gumchen Garalan, then Dua Dung to us, Dua Shuru Dung to Jessa, Dua Di Garson, May Mesala Dua Maris, Dua Hora Me Jebure, Dua say Melet in the Kigo, Dua Dinia Shuru Dungo, and Mania. Dua the mayor of Atisha and mayor of Hakubi, Dua Onsume Tong. The Dua Tongue won't be shared by the Onsume Tamare. The Dua Gumsen the Chin, may also make it Tungo Made, Dua Gumsen the Chin, Penny Nalola, Shingna Nala, mayor body, Hako, Mayores and Haku with Samadi, then Haku and Samadi, the Jesupa with Samasi.
And to repeat the illustration given last night, which shows how these two work sequentially. If one sees a forest, then one is seeing the forest. So this is a visual sense consciousness, one's seeing it directly, so it's a direct valid cognizer. And if in the distance, in this large forest, one sees smoke, again, one is seeing smoke. So the smoke is appearing to our visual sense consciousness, and we are seeing it directly without the usage of a meaning generality, and the first moment then of perceiving smoke is a direct valid cognizer. But then we think, and now we think, oh, there's smoke rising from the forest. If there's smoke, that is a result that has come about in dependence on the cause, and that cause would be fire. I can't see fire, I can't hear fire, I can't smell fire, but I can see smoke. And in dependence on the reason of there being smoke, I infer that there is fire. So here, this second valid cognition is an inferential one, because one has not realized that there is fire directly, because one hasn't directly perceived it, but in dependence on the reason there being smoke arising from a forest, we can infer that there is fire. So this then is an inferential valid cognizer. The seeing of smoke, that is a direct valid cognizer. But knowing that there's fire in dependence on the reason of there being smoke is an inferential valid cognizer.
Digi Shina di in the Gantiwa, Namguma to Chunal Dugan Jayorwa, Chunal Dugan Jarikti, Chunal Dugan Jarikti, D. Intelia, Guringbu, Jinimix, Guringbura to give by now, the water chew of Tari, hasn't it? Just now, Chuja, the Delia, Unity nearby the how going to do, 어디 금전도 취셔야돼 윤리도 내배 금전 내라 때네 어디 취여사래서 봐 취여하고 또 그랬어. 대서 하고 해야지 취미기 통하면 다른 건 따야돼. 그래서 취여하고 채마디 가서 금제 가르다서는 넘균 취나를 되게 경기 취셔야돼. 때래 균주고 내봐 내배 금전 내라 때네 아니 취여하고 채마지 온 거래. 그래서 제가 채마해라고 그래.
And similarly, above the same forest, if one regularly over the same part of the forest, one sees water birds flying, or one hears the sound of water birds always coming from the same part of that forest, then the seeing or the hearing of those water birds, this will be a direct valid cognizer. It's a sense consciousness, a sight or hearing sense consciousness, and it's at the first moment it's a direct valid cognizer. But independent on the reason of there are continuously or often over this part of the forest there are water birds, there must be water there. So therefore one can infer that that part of the forest has plentiful water. So this then is an inferential valid cognizer because it's come about independent on a reason. One hasn't seen water or heard the sound of flowing water, but one has inferred that there is water independence on a reason.
그래서 먼저 천하 공을 쌀이 되게 지면에 다들이야 편이 추천보로 초로 쉬어이나 안딜이야 먼저 무바랑바로 무바망고 되어와 제가 가시기 아직 천하 공을 두서는 무바망고 도요도 편이 도와 인사에다 세비게 도와 통이도 세비 도와 용거를 가시래요. 그래서 나 두바 되네기 두화지 편이 두화두 선배 두화 인사에 선배기 다 지금 도와 사용도 아니 아니 미치기 아니 어다 편이 두화 말에다스 되게 김장 가려라는 매민도 와서 매통민도 와서 전하고 매나 편이 요새들 매마하고 통구로 와 그래서 편이 두화 말에서 가르선 두화요 말에 편이 가려라는 매민도 매요 말로 와서 매요는 아주 미기 통구래 전하고를 따라 통구래 매 통구민도 와서 그래서 매민도 와서 매반자 두화요 말에서 그 김제 두화 매비 김제 될라 매민도 매매가 김제 고요도 그 매반마도 통구로 와 매긴 통구만 전하고면 매마마보를 통용으로 통대우로 와 그래서 매매바 하고 고사려 그래서 두화 있는 사람도 그래서 두화 말에 그래서 요 말에 그래서 매민도 와서라도 지금 매매비 김센데 전에 두화 매바 또배 하고 어다 대신이 통해야지 노샤데 두화 레민도 와 선배게 삼로디 두화 마이 매바 또배 세마기 요르디 한 제수법에 세마리에서 제수법에 그래서는 김센데 매매비 김센데 전에 한 디삼다제 매매바서다 두화 요 말에 선배게 다 주비기 세마지로 와그 아니 그래서 디 세마디게 제수법에 세마리라고
네, 제수박 파세마데 두어 메나 제참
메메마레 메메나 두어요 메메나 두어게 진짜 메메비 김센도 전에 그 두어 메바 하고 와디 저 세마게로 하고 진짜 디 제수법에 세마리에서
Similarly, if someone is perhaps at night sitting on the side of a lake and mist is arising from the lake, and so this person Perhaps they're in meditation and they open their eyes later and suddenly they see there's all this mist around them and they think, oh, this is smoke, there must be fire. Then they have their meditation friend next to them who says, no, don't worry, this isn't fire, there is no fire, therefore this cannot be smoke. So the first person who mistook the mist for smoke, they were mistaken. Their reason is not correct, so they didn't give rise to an inferential valid cognition. But their friend who pointed out, this cannot be, as there is no fire here, what we are perceiving here cannot be smoke. They have a valid reason, they have a correct reason. Their reason being, there is no fire, therefore this cannot be smoke. So they have a correct inferential valid cognition. Well, they have a correct reason, therefore they have an inferential valid cognition. The first person who thought that because this mist was smoke and therefore there was fire, their reason was mistaken, and therefore they do not have an inferential valid cognition.
Dinigira, Jumchen, Dine, Hagoin, Samadilla, just to Pabet Samas, that you do also on the one shake, also the Matomba in Naya, and the Jumse, Yadabachilla, Dine, Hago do, and Dine Hago with Samadilla, just to Pabet Samasicore. Then on to Tati, Motre Samjimata, they won Madidi.
Therefore, the inferential valid cognizer, this does not directly realize the object, hence it's not a direct valid cognizer, but comes about independence on a correct reason. So now we've looked in brief at these two divisions of valid cognition. So this is an introduction. You see this is presented in more detail later on in the text.
Dobadan Jashi Matu Ripa said Longosum Sigurda, Doba Mayanke, Doba Dobadan Jashi, said Doba Mayamba, and you rang Udila Matuachi, and then Ripa Imba, the Nigel Kishu Sum Taji Dela, and Longosum Pasi, Doba Jashi Matu Ripa Dela, and the Longosum said in Lagore.
Now returning over to page 3. Now we come to something called direct perception. So direct perception then is defined here at the beginning as a knower that is non-conceptual and unmistaken. So a direct perceiver is a knower that is non-conceptual and unmistaken.
Dawa Toyagi, Dakar Toyagi, Migi Shabati, the Monsum Chekore, Doba Mare Korwa, Doba Mare, and Garsani Uji Dunjina Majava Sawa and Gorwa, and Doba Mare. Then Udila Dawaji Pa, Dawaji Toana, Dawaji Yudurwa, and then Matuare, and the Ripanere, and that they saw, and then on to Dakar Tide, then you get Dakar Toyagi, Migi Shabati, Monsum Resor, Monsum Resor.
An illustration that's easy to understand would be if one looks up in the night sky and sees the moon. So one is seeing the moon with an eye sense consciousness. One is seeing the moon directly, so without relying on a meaning generality. So this is a non-conceptual consciousness. It's a direct perception. So therefore, it fulfills this the middle criteria of being non-conceptual. Moreover, it is a knower, and that is an awareness. It's not something other than awareness, it's consciousness, it's a knower and awareness. And thirdly, it is unmistaken, because one is observing the moon. It is the moon. So it is unmistaken. So that is an illustration of a direct perception.
Now, the Dagalia, Tadukala, Nabagidus, Miglia, dus names it Davane, Yata, Dawanina, or Dawani Nangurwa. And the Chua Chatter, Cassandi, Toba Mare, Enea, Ripare, Inea, Chua Maragas, and Dawani, dus name you any Dawani Tonduro, in a Dawani Yomare, Dawani Nangore. Just dig it, me, they won't bullet, dus names in the Tayukabla. Toyagi Migi Shabadi, and Monsum Mare, Carson Dinade, Karasango Mazun, Trua de Mare, Trua Casar, Matua de Mare, Trua de as a Corona Tawa, now a Nashin, Ni now a Nashin, Dawa Yomare, is a called Treaty. The and Migi dus name said that you Migi Sheba, any Dawani Tondoge, Migi Shabadi, the Monsum Mare.
Yeah, Dadum, talk me there.
Okay.
Then when one's observing the moon, one, for fun, decides to press on one's closed eye, and then open the eye and you'll see not one moon but two. So this is, we are now observing two moons, seeing two moons. So we are seeing it with a consciousness, with an awareness, so this is a knower. It remains non-conceptual, but it is mistaken because there are not two moons. So, therefore, when one sees two moons instead of one, this is not a direct perception because it doesn't fulfill the third part of the definition. Seeing two moons is of course mistaken and therefore not a direct perception. And as we see here, direct perception is divided into four: sense direct perceivers, mental direct perceivers, self-knowing direct perceivers, and yogic direct perceivers. Also of these four, we have the first three. We have sense direct perceivers, we have mental direct perceivers, we have self-knowing direct perceivers. We do not, though, have yogic direct perceivers. When one becomes an Arya being, that is the point where one has yogic direct perceivers. Until one achieves the Arya paths, or develops the Arya paths, one does not have yogic direct perceivers. So let's then look at the first of the four, that being sense direct perceivers. So we see it defined here as that which is produced in dependence on a physical sense power, that is its own uncommon empowering condition. It is a knower that is non-conceptual and unmistaken. So the second bullet point here we can see is the same definition as a direct perceiver, as direct perception. And then we have the new part which differentiates this direct perception as being a sense direct perceiver in particular. Then we see immediately below that sense direct perceivers can be themselves subdivided into valid cognizers that are sense direct perceivers, subsequent cognizers that are sense direct perceivers, and non-ascertaining awarenesses that are sense direct perceivers.
Tene di keji niba da tangbo tona keji niba sumba chadu keji niba inada sumba inada dene keji niba mi medo toye ki wangbe ngosmi de ane jeshe sa gore andina dele ande nyel de sheshan de na chama da suzi wang keji tangbo sa de chama che suzi wang keji niba se de da jeshe cha gore.
When one, to take as an illustration, we use the visual sense consciousness. So the visual or the eye sense consciousness, when it sees something, then that is that object, that form, appears to the sense consciousness, in particular the visual sense consciousness, and this is directly a direct perception. And the very first moment is a valid cognizer that is a sense direct perceiver. Because we saw previously on the second page that a valid cognizer refers, within the definition of a valid cognizer we have the word new, which means it only refers to the very first moment that object, in this case the form, is seen. From the second moment onwards, that sense direct perceiver, that visual sense direct perceiver, will now be a subsequent cognizer, the second division here. The first moment is the valid cognizer, the second and subsequent moments are subsequent cognizers. Both of them are sense direct perceivers, both of them are visual or eye sense direct perceivers. But the first moment is a valid cognizer, that is a sense direct perceiver. Second and subsequent moments are subsequent cognizers, that are sense direct perceivers.
Sabo Maravada, second hand said the Chagoro, Nibaso Chagoro, and Dinashi, called Sugros, Migi, Tong, the Dambo, Tong, the Howard said, the Dambo Tong, somebody, Sabare, called Temas, or Sabares, or Temas, Sabares. Tis not that Tone, Kiziniba Sumbamacha, Nimbas, Chagora, Nimbaros, more than Nimba, Chibare, Nimbas, didn't call me Delia, that goes over the Geshe Thubten or Mingata.
This differentiation between singling out the importance of the very first moment and separating it from the second and subsequent moments is something that in some respects we also do in society in general. So if a brand new car has been manufactured but never used, it's perhaps sitting at the dealers, and so that is brand new. Then someone buys it, drives it off the lot, it's now no longer new. It's now worth far less. So in society, if that person then tries to sell their day-old car, they're not going to get the same value for it. So in the same way here, that the brand new car is differentiated from when the car is bought and used. This is similar to what is done with the division between the first moment of cognition and the second and subsequent moments. The first moment of a direct perception is a valid cognizer. The subsequent moments are no longer valid. They are now subsequent cognizers.
Nana manga baladu yi janyen bala habara chashin bi gibu yu suzu wongan da wosigorwa. Nala manga basedi. Kaze yi janyen bala habara chashin bi gibu yu suzu wongan da wosedi di pero shimasan diso dina jela ana gasore nala manga bolo lagires.
And then the third division of sense-direct perceivers is a non-ascertaining awareness that are sense-direct perceivers. And we see the illustration below. A sense-direct perceiver apprehending a form in the continuum of a being whose mind is especially attracted to a pleasant sound.
Kolo shidi mewa china, the Padana Modero Shirede, in a Modera Chasan Singing Sayo Maro, Modone members of Chagua, or Dinashi Reda, Manuzuki, Migi, Sushi, Toina, Toyo Gablia, Manzo Samlodi, Penetani share what Penecas or Migi, Geshe Shidi, Geshe Nanga, Chimbupe, Gechimbu Shebana, Manzo Samlod Pachasan, Delia and Yenche. Down to ye somebody Chasan kissing hand and part down to Migi Chick Sushi Tombine, the Awato Tume. She's not Denegi Sushi Tungo, but Nangore, in there, Dogo Mare. Denigi Mato was a Denigi won't be Sheba Della. Penny track Yechimushu, Chin, some of the Chasa, Digala Nazi, Yandubi, Nerapki, Migi Shebati, Su Nadu, Migi Shebatella, Shebati, and Su Navi Migi Shebati, Digalam, Garalamneti, and Nalam, yes, cousin called Sukti, Tunjida Matava, Sawa, Nangore, Inaya, could Direshas and wash it to get to go, Mare, Matovanza, Nalamangabas.
This term non-ascertaining awareness, this is now new for us. It will come up many times, so you'll become more and more familiar with it. Likewise with these other terms, subsequent cognition and valid cognizers, these terms will come up repeatedly through this text, so you'll become more and more familiar with it. So non-ascertaining awareness, we have a clear illustration here, is a sense-direct perceiver apprehending a form in the continuum of a being whose mind is especially attracted to a pleasant sound. So here, this is if we are when we're hearing something, and it's something that we are particularly engaged with, perhaps it's news of great importance, so we are listening attentively, we are still seeing form. Our forms still appear to our eye sense consciousnesses, but we are particularly involved with what we are hearing. So here really the ear sense consciousness is dominant, but form or objects form is still appearing to the visual sense consciousness, but these aren't being ascertained. They are appearing, but they're not being ascertained. So here, this is a non-ascertaining awareness in relation to the visual objects that are appearing to our visual sense consciousness. This is a non-ascertaining awareness, because it's a sound. That is what is being ascertained. That is where our attention is. So the visual objects, they appear to our visual sense-direct perceiver directly, clearly, not in reliance on a meaning generality. So there are visual sense-direct perceivers. Or this is a visual sense-direct perception, but it is non-ascertaining, because it's not ascertaining this visual object, rather the sound, this important news that one is listening to. That is what is being ascertained.
And that is on Yungur, she lost me, Nibo Shuchi, Sem Chasa, Delia, Yendi, Vicabla, Duava, Dundua, Miro, Draw, Chick Tov, and the Suro, Ton Shawana, Washing the Shagor, the Chelia, Chick some, or the Jing, Chick Tonson, said, immediately Chick Tons, Karina Jamos on the Habu Windows, Chick Tons, the Karina, some Yunguru, just the Ji Washi, the Tungur, the Washing now already. Motto Vetare, Chisan Gelia, Gentugo, me the Chick Tons, the Karina Mason says the Chinangor, the Motto Vetare, Chisadi, the Nigit Nadu, Nekabi Washi, the Nalama law. Dina Shingan to give Migit and Sugda, the Nigichil Bachik Demon, Page, Gachem, Shuchi, the Tadu Vicabla, Duaj Michi Kishena, Chick Amjol Goa in Bala, Karimba, Garlag in Hamoana, Chinchisu, Carson, the Jinga, the Nikita, the Bicablia, Chick Shestic, Halam Nahomason, says Lagro, Chisa, the Chick, Charchi Goa, and then Matova, the Carson Chisu, Carlag in the Gentugo, which is a Matova. Chisa me to soup, Chick, Kiechimbochella, Tadu, Necala, some not Pacha, Zook, me, Tadelia, shoot down, do, I'm sure let you go did one Navi Shepatilla tried in Nangor in there. Navi Shepati tried to toy, Carlaguma, out Semitoy, Matovanza, the Nidi Nekapki, Navi Shepati, and then Nala Lossigore.
These non-ascertaining awarenesses, these are some consciousnesses we have a lot of. So the illustration that gives some illustrations. Let's say one is listening to some music and it's really beautiful, and one's very involved with this music. Perhaps many emotions are arising within one, and that's where one's attention primarily is. But one's other sense consciousnesses will have objects appearing to them. One may be smelling something, one may be looking at things, and these objects will be appearing to those sense consciousnesses, and one will be perceiving them directly, but they will not be ascertained because one is very involved with what one is listening to. Likewise, if one is watching a television program and one is very involved with it, maybe it's a very interesting program or it's a program one likes a lot and all one's concentration is there. And then if one's partner talks to one from behind, and afterwards you say, "Oh, did you say something I didn't hear?" Well, what happened is probably both our sight and our hearing sense consciousnesses were very involved with what one was watching. But the sound that was said, these words that were said, these were heard by the sense direct perceiver. They weren't, but they weren't realized. They weren't realized. They appeared to the sense direct perceiver, the ear sense direct perceiver, but they weren't ascertained. They weren't realized, and therefore the words that were said, one heard, but one didn't ascertain them. And therefore, one has no recollection of what was said, and one is not even that sure if anything was said at all. So this and many other illustrations we have of these non-ascertaining awarenesses.
Nala manga basedi ko nangiyo ba de ji ya donda de toyo mare ma to wanzang ko tata chayon tata leyo mare ba me wanzang juge nala ma me lodi gi jesu ta je nam do che ba na ane dore ge nga yo ro bene mi chi gi chi chi laguyo ba da ho che donda ga la me na ha mo wa di ha mo wa ne di na la mo lo cha ra ba di chi la so san be sam no che di ni ge nala manga bulu de kiche di jesu ra de ande de ji lab sang sam de so so ge cheba je ngal du ja la me do sam be nam do ke de ni ngal ya kyun ju che sa sam be nam do ke de ni ya khon la ya da de ni ge nyanga yong ra khon la ya ane chi ya chi de ni ge di la me do so ke nam do ke che di gi da ne cha ba ke ya da ane khon la ya da nda ma ra di ge nala manga lu ji su de nyom ba ke ya ge nam do ke ya mo yong ko re
Nang naman epilogde kolagosong de masungonga ngato tsema yamuna ngato ngonsum di yulde togore kare something right?
Kije dangbo na niba ni di yudong ne ra togo lo tsema cha dembare che nala ma lo de nawa na shi nawa za ma do yude ma do ba ro dembare yo ma 제가 나라 망에 배 암주 나위 셰바 나라 망에 바치기 제수 자제 남도 다마라기네 베니미치기 나르즈 베수nye 쇼 지기 수실에 다시 메갑라야 미치기 계시 나와나 근데 직도 단다 하모가지 직 나와도 고셔 단 나라 망아자 안디 제려야 삼다 어딘가에 지 콜랍소스 그날에 누구지 라면도 선비게 다야 남도 계제 안디니야 미디야 보면 알이야 견주치기 선배선 는 콘지가야 콘라야다 야 인디니기 안내 지금 아주게 나라마게 제수 장바이나 내려 남도게 남도 콘로게야다 차다게야다 아니 냥아 연구를 봐.
So we look at sense direct perceivers and we talk now about the first and the third division, valid cognizers that are sense direct perceivers, and the third, non-ascertaining awarenesses that are sense direct perceivers. For it to be that first division, the valid cognizer that are sense direct perceivers, the object has to be realized. So whatever the object is that is appearing to our sense direct perception, it needs to be new and incontrovertible, and of course a knower, an awareness. So it's referring to the first moment, being new, this is a valid cognizer, incontrovertible, meaning the object is realized. So for it to be a valid cognition, one has to realize the object. But if one doesn't, because the object appears but isn't ascertained, the third one, then here the object hasn't been realized. Hence it's not a sense direct perceiver that is a valid cognizer, but rather a sense direct perceiver that is non-ascertaining, because the object hasn't been realized. It has appeared, but it hasn't been ascertained by the consciousness. So it's important that one comes to, one, intellectually understand this, then two, to investigate and see how this works within ourselves, because from this many problems come. So in the illustration of when someone is talking to you, but your attention is elsewhere, from this problems can come. That person may feel that they are being ignored, that they are not being valued, that you value something else more than them in that moment, and they may get upset. You, on the other hand, say, I've never heard what you're saying, what you said. I never heard this at all. And then you feel falsely accused. And in this way problems come. But when we understand well how the mind works, then we realize that they must have said it, but I didn't realize that. The object, the sound, that object, sound, appeared to my ear sense direct perception, but I didn't realize it, I didn't ascertain it. Therefore it was non-ascertaining. Why? Because my concentration was elsewhere.
Nala manga big won't be sheba in a migi sheba, navi sheba, Nala manga bachimbaina, Lamsa, Delia, Namtokia Yomares, or the chicks, all dating Tilavis, Didushas, Tichi, Samata Yomares, Dino Jungure.
Because you need Pena, a Kerenking ala Sungdu, then in Amsok the Gogide, you need Hagogiumade.
Google the Dunda de Gala,
then it didn't Manapa.
That is Chiku, the Dunda, no need to have Gala, we have go Mara, Gala, we have more chick, like you, but Nade. I'm sure now. Take a look about the Dunda, Takamawaza, Chick Lagu about it now, the Mangeba. Tis that the Mangabanza and the Chesutan, the Topanam to Kevana, the Noyak in Ayo.
Dicoso, you need a shepherd, the Nonsum Kitsemade, because I need the Selpo Amso, the Selpo Gosong in a Hakamason. Did Dadum Temerepe?
Navi Sheba to get Google, the Chick Nangur, the Chikugur, the Donda Hamor, the Nala Mangapas.
Nala
could Nangu Traji now, the Donda Galagium, the Mahamo, Makosa, Nala Mangapas. That's the Nigi, Lodi Nalamajid, Namdo Tamaraki, Chesa Dinezang Nala Mangabaina. Di Luigi Sutan, Namdo Kia, Yangazuki, or Daddy Lodi, Nala Manga Resha, Chesa Dineza, Lamsa, and Kunju Genetic Mares and Biggie, that the Yangazuki, some down to the kitchen which I go rigid.
And another illustration of this third division of sense direct perceivers, that the non-ascertaining awareness, that awarenesses that are sense direct perceivers, would be if you having a conversation with someone, they say something to you. You hear what they say, but you don't understand the meaning of what's being said. So the object, which is sound, appears to your sense direct perception, but you don't understand it. You perhaps don't understand the context, or you just really have no idea what's going on. This then is a non-ascertaining awareness, because you don't ascertain the meaning of what is being said. It's just sound. It has no meaning for you. Here there's a bit of danger for the other person, because the other person, they may then at that time or later get upset with you, thinking, we are having a conversation, I told you directly, I told you clearly, you perhaps even nodded in agreement, but now you've done the opposite. So here there is a danger that over-conceptualization can arise in one party's mind, criticizing the other person. I told you, you should have known better because I said this very clearly. Whereas in actual fact, the person did hear you, but they didn't understand what was going on. They didn't understand the meaning of the words. So this again, when we come to understand this topic well, we'll see how it works within ourselves. And this will serve to make our minds calmer, more spacious, more accepting and understanding.
지지가르시 다 나라망가 바사야디 나와 임발라 돈다다 따따다 하모고 인자 안디체소 잡비기 이트나 지게 로로 깨베나 이기셰바 깨바나 이기셰바디 따따 잠갑 직진의 노트치 뭐자 직진의 따따 티바르 곧 지게 디르와 가르소리 녜바메 녜메시르와 녜바메 한 차디르와 직진의 따따 비니 나고나들야 대야 지게 잘라 독도로 세르 독도 제단 자기 독도 제단 되네기 니숨시 샤바네 겨진나네 지겨 결혼 직린 케셔스네 이세르린 케로스랍나 당은 믹다네 민 통고 말아 나베 독도도다세 직진의 세면도 삼 도와서 케로나 직진 세 마인바 차시그리 직진의 세 임바 따다죠 그도다 그 미마통 하모고지 최소신 링고로와 진짜 직진의 따다 차그리 직진의 노트 침부 차이로와 인디나시 나라망 불르디 삼다시 진난 디시소 전에 똑바디 개발 남도 개발은 직진의 따다 차시그리 직진의 노트 차시그리 또 뒤로 차고와 진짜 나라망 불르시소 줘야 디메마 차고로다
디치 타마탄다
나라망 불르시소 장진 디레선 삼다에 메르다 가서네 그래서 그 따다 차고 말와
Of these first two divisions, valid cognizers and subsequent cognizers that are sense-direct perceivers. So these are knowers that are non-conceptual and unmistaken, and in the first instance, the object is also realized as incontrovertible. Being unmistaken means that so being incontrovertible means that the object is realized. Being unmistaken means the object appears in a way that is similar to how it exists. So one has this unmistaken understanding of the object. The object appears in an unmistaken manner. Whilst the non-ascertaining awareness will still fit the direction of the sense-direct perceivers, because, in other words, it's a know that is non-conceptual and unmistaken, because the awareness hasn't ascertained the object, misunderstanding can easily follow. So this is where we, as practitioners, as practitioners take responsibility for our own mind. We need to be aware that this is an area of danger in the sense that this is where misunderstandings can easily come about. So, for example, if we have a bag of stones, and within these stones are some gold nuggets, and someone asks us, please give me one of your gold nuggets. And we, being a kind person, we put our hand in and give them one. But we haven't checked that we have actually, amongst these stones, pulled out a gold nugget and given that to the person. We then give this person what we're thinking is a gold nugget, but turns out not to be. That person then gets upset with us, thinking that we have tried to deceive them, and they maybe get upset with us or look down on us. Whereas all that we did is we weren't paying attention. We didn't come to ascertain the objects clearly, and therefore we ended up making a mistake. So it's useful to come to know these divisions here well, because problems can come from, in particular, this third division of non-ascertaining awarenesses.
대시가르 통송 선배 삼나다여도 따따다 하고 우면은 디통소 선배 하모거나 대시 녀를 숙통에 왕시의 나라마가 차려래. 녀를 자지 고체 즉 제례 치수 삼다중은 제례 아대징이 대시 자지 고선 디가르에서 가르기 시에서 선배게 삼다여도 어디시에서 선배 따따다 하고 마다나 대시 자고에 나위셰바디 나라마가 차려래. 당시 돈달 제사 디네인자 저기 직녀를 거나 통화이나다 제일 삼다도 제 따따하고 뭐 두마도나 제사 대신이 통화야지 오다 원비셰바세 딩이 통화 원비셰바 나라망바들이 샤사마다 안지제 나위 자위 퇴다 어디 대신이 퇴바디 디레스나 고마투바 삼나 잼 투메나 대시기디 오 나위 셰바디 퇴자디 나위 셰바데 가서 나라망불을 샤사비게 어디 뭐 퇴야체 and deji mi ton odeji sometimes odeji di ton son the midin dine to sing in the meadow and dine jalan dine to some tend to win tend to deji won't be shabada kichi tangbo tong and samare dine kichi ibadi Geshe said yes and azuga samlia and ratchadi did motricia dirwa.
So then in brief, these three divisions again. The Valid cognizer, that is a sense direct perceiver. So this is where an object appears to one of our sense direct perceptions. So it's a knower, it's non-conceptual, it's unmistaken, and it refers to the object is realized, and the very first moment is therefore a valid cognizer. So when one perhaps sees something or hears something, that very first moment is a valid cognizer, that is a sense direct perception, and the second and subsequent moments are subsequent cognizers that are sense direct perceptions. But then to illustrate the third one, non-ascertaining awarenesses that are sense direct perceptions, when later we think to ourselves, did I see something? Did I hear something? Then most probably that is an illustration of having been a non-ascertaining sense direct perceiver, because we were there, we had the opportunity to see or to hear or to taste or smell or touch, and we may well have done so, but the object wasn't realized. Therefore, it wasn't a valid cognition, and therefore there could be no subsequent cognizers, and therefore it was a non-ascertaining awareness. So similarly, if one is hearing these teachings now, and there was a part that one faded out and didn't hear, one heard the sound, but it wasn't ascertained. It's a non-ascertaining sense direct perception. So then these are the three divisions, and so it's good to get to know them well and be aware that misunderstandings can easily arise from this third division. People misunderstandings in relation to oneself, or oneself thinking about others. Oh, you should know this. You should have heard this. You should have seen this. But really, that person may have been there, but the object wasn't realized. It was not ascertained.
And in them, that they won't be awesome. Descend Yaja does Mara descend Yavara share do Negashi was in the dinner. I Migi won't be awesome. Then Navi won't be awesome. Ni won't be awesome. G won't be awesome. Lu won't be awesome. Jin won't be awesome. Ashi ore. Then the Suzy Wong was ore. Migi won't be awesome. The Suzy Wong, Jazin Wong, Jizin Wong, Rosin Wong, Rashazin Wong Sene. They go Lapta de Sunda delia, Co Yugi Chane, Sunda Chiche. Won't be changed, me won't be awesome. Suzy was a chiva chatter. Jazzy Wong, Jizzy Wong, Rosie Wong, Rashazin Wong, so Wong, Yawalmas on Ngawang.
And then further on, we see that there's an alternative way to divide sense direct perceivers. So this is just another way of expressing sense direct perceivers. And here we see them relating to the 5 differing objects, and so be the 5 differing sense direct perceptions. So sense direct perceivers apprehending form, sense direct perceivers apprehending sounds, sense direct perceivers apprehending odors, sense direct perceivers apprehending tastes, sense direct perceivers apprehending tangible objects.
That in Gawayor Sang de or what mean me won't be awesome, Denema Tonkingi won't be awesome, de Miki won't be awesome. Jennavi won't boll a teacher, Denema Dratonkingi awesome de la Jesse Wongons. Then again, nay won't boll a teacher, T, how cooking awesome de la Jesse awesome. That G won't boll a dinner and raw, how cooking you won't be awesome de la Rosin Wongon. Then the Raja the Hawk you won't boll it in the Raja Hawk on de la Raja Simple Wongon. She's the dinner Zang to give Numbula has already heard about it, the answer did and did said, Keba the chasing go mara, and Zang to kill you about it, and that dinner is that down for Migi. Then now, Che, and Luis and dinner won't boll it in Pigeda or Mosum de Shigurua.
These 5 sense direct perceivers, we all have, and we utilize them a lot. We don't tend to think about them that, oh, now I have a visual sense direct perceiver is now manifest because I am perceiving form, I'm seeing form. Or we don't necessarily think that, I'm hearing sound, so I'm hearing sound via my auditory sense direct perceiver. And likewise, when we experience a taste, we do so with the experiencer object of taste through our tongue sense direct perceiver, and so forth for all 5. So these are very common for us, but you don't always think about these divisions. But this is an alternative way then to divide sense direct perceivers in accordance with the 5 sense objects and the 5 sense consciousnesses.
Dele migi ombores. Da dene da ombo da yu ba tsme digma dele ya migi chugores. Che da migi gasa rangi migi ne gibi su thong gor su gores. Da dene la dene gi de ken gewa chila an to ba dan jawa to ba mai gen ma chu ri ba. An dene gi chila an ombo ngosum la gi migi ombo ngosum la gi re chire.
Here we see this 5-fold division defined. So the first one, the sense direct perceiver apprehending form, and the definition is that which is generated in dependence on its own uncommon empowering condition, the I sense power, and its observed object condition of form, and is a knower that is non-conceptual and unmistaken. So again, the second bullet point here relates to the definition at the top of the page for direct perception. And so this would relate, of course, to all sense direct perceptions, in this case all 5. But what will vary slightly is the first bullet point. So if we're talking about sense direct perceivers apprehending form, then what will be unique to the sense direct perceiver apprehending form and will differ from the other 4 is that its uncommon empowering condition is the I sense power. And not only will the I sense power vary, but then its object condition, namely form, will change. So for it to be a sense direct perceiver, it needs to be a knower that's non-conceptual and unmistaken, the second point. And for it to apprehend form means that it has to rise in dependence on the I sense power and the object being form. And if those 5 conditions, the I sense power and the object form, as well as the 3 from the second bullet point, are met, then it's a sense direct perceiver apprehending form.
Rangi tumo me da ge miwa se de mi ge ombo se de nga zu ge da di mi do ri ji na lo ya ane be su pe ta mo shu chu xie wa na ji be su ta mo shu chu le ji de andi zu ge de le de ni miwa se de
Miki nang la sung pe
mi da mi do ri ji ro di na lo le ya be su pe ta mo shu se wo shu ta mo xie wa na ji ju le xie wo.
This, in the definition then, the I sense power. So that doesn't refer to the eyeball, but rather to within the eyeball. There is a very subtle form, and that very subtle form is the I sense power.
신도 고교 나시래서 제가 신도 고교 나신 저기 미게 통투야다 되게 하고 돼야만 제가 이치제야래마도 상계다 되는 송바리 이치제야마도 통투 말해서 제가 신 나서라 볼라 신도 고교래서 되네 시거다 되네 멤비 내 자주서 파바다 되게 야디스 건설라 신도 고교 차이 말하다 나서 소소기 볼라 신도 고교래서 미와 담마지 요래서 제가 하고 두고 말와 요래서 마도 미게 통하고 말 다대사야 취시 제라요 통네 대지 천리기야 줘봐자 양 취시 제라 통네 양지게 미와 당와지 하고 투에 지 통투가 예나 하고 유시르와다
이것은 치고마서 되니 뭐마수 치고 하고 그래 상기 치고 야매 상기 당 전체 셈파파
전체 셈파파바당 또고토디 미당 뭐 온보다 하고 또 투고 당 알아서 소소지가 알아서 두고 있나 근데 하고 니마 송두가를 취재자라 야게 메renza 미와 당화세 요래서 마도 네 이시제자 마도 아니 다시 제나 가서 통투야 가메라 다고 더 매로 항아서 누바 매래 세상 디네 장아서 저벌에 녀마 소소티 왕아서 저벌에 미와 다와디 니시도 고교래 숨고래 나다 이내 대사다 삼당의 신도 고교 책위에는 심주지 해래 그래서 추셰자라 이야기하는 추제전 배수 당어 참모시고 통투고로 와
Objects can be divided into three, those which are manifest, those which are hidden, and those which are very hidden. Manifest are what we directly can perceive, any kind of object that can be directly perceived. Hidden can only be realized in dependence on reasoning, and then very hidden are those which only the Buddha can realize. So the subtle form that is the sense powers, in this case the eye sense power, this is something that only Arya Bodhisattvas and Buddhas can actually realize. It's not something that ordinary people such as ourselves can realize because it's not manifest and we can't realize it based on reasoning. So only Buddhas and Arya Bodhisattvas can realize it. And that's the case now, but perhaps in the future that will change because as the sophistication of the instruments that scientists use develop, perhaps in the future those are subtle objects of form, subtle matter that scientists cannot observe at the moment through their instrumentation. Perhaps in the future they will develop more sophisticated instruments and be able to observe it. And then this object will no longer be classified as a very hidden object, but will be classified as a manifest object. So, but for now, it's something that can only be realized by Buddhas and Arya Bodhisattvas.
And in it, that Migi Ombo Dawa Della, Nazu Sukti Shagores. Then Sushane, and the Sukti Shagadu, and Digi Mikin Cheje, and the Sudu Toy, Migi Shaba the Kigores, Migi Shaba Keran and Skigores, and Migi Ombo Suk Dawa Della, and the Garzuki, Medoros Tongwina, Medodi, Madela Shar, and the Medod Zuan Dawa Della Shagadu, and Di Kinje, and Deleazo, Medod Toy, Migi Shaba the Kigores.
The sequence then is that the object, the object which is in this case form, because we're talking about the eye sense direct perceiver, the object appears to the eye sense power. In dependence on the object appearing in the eye sense power arises the eye sense consciousness. So if we're thinking about a beautiful flower, or if we're seeing rather a beautiful flower, that flower first appears to or within the eye sense power, and in dependence on it appearing to the eye sense power, the eye sense consciousness arises.
Anzo diru shagura anzo shego na la anzo donggu sungyen ji dawa samna to shego kide shego na la shayongro shego na la sungyen de shardu dan migi shebege ane shego na ge sungyen di tonggo wa da dene tonggo re ma da shego de ya ane ji ge gyön sho de ge na shego de la sungyen sha tugo ma de zhen shego dun de ke sha bai na shego de sungyen shego ma ra shego de gyön de ro enja anzo sungyen de tong tugo ma ra 디나지 미기 옹보들이야 교쇼바이나 교쇼는 미기 옹보들 수년 샤투고 말에 제상은 좀 미기 미마통아 당보 미통아 인발 통고바나 미기 옹보들 교쇼도 아니 미마통아 미기 롱와사데 차야다 미기 수 마통아 차야디 미기 옹보들 교쇼데도 수기 수 차고 말 수마샤도 아니 수 통위 옹보셔바 기투고 말에 제네
Whilst we can't observe the sense powers and we can only take them on trust, what we can and do utilize is a mirror. So in dependence on utilizing a mirror, we can see our face. So here we can liken the mirror to the sense power, and then being able to see our face being the eye sense consciousness that perceives the reflection. But if the mirror is particularly faulty, it's not working for some reason, then nothing will reflect from it. So we will not give rise to an eye sense consciousness seeing a reflection in that mirror because there's something wrong with the mirror. So this is how the sense consciousness is dependent on the sense power. And in this case, the eye sense consciousness arises in dependence on the form, the object arising first in the eye sense power.
아, 디네 자당 저기 셰와나라 다주 나소수 수년 셰와나라 동기 수년 샤와디 아주 미기 통과로 와. 아주 미기 통화도 셰와나 샤에게 동기 수년의 통과마다 아주 동문의 통과를 배서네 다시 통과 말와. 아주 미기 셰바디게 소수의 동문의 소소하는 게 통매래 와다. 진짜 셰와나 다이도 소소 동기 수년의 통과를 마도 셰와랑 나랑 소소하는 게 동문에디 소소 미기 셰비게 다시 통매바로 차기도 와.
동평원이 말행 아사 고기래.
아주 고구로와 이내 아주 미기 소소 나랑 저기 소소 미기 셰바디게 소소의 동문에디 통구 뒤에 통구 말하려네. 통구 말와 통민도 와되네. 결혼이 미기 결혼 동도에 셰와 마다는 통민도 하죠. 제가 두 셰와 따나 아주 동구 수년디 소소 미기 셰바디게 소소의 동구 수년이 통구하래. 수년의 통화전에 이 동tin에 대해 대가버셔야 나버셔야 라고마도 소소 동문의 차사디 미기 소소 미기 셰바디게 통구를 배서는 통매로다. 삼단에 제바로 제가 나가 삼단에.
The only way all of us get to see our face is in dependence on a mirror. If we don't have a mirror, we find it a bit hard to see our face. So if we look at our reflection, then we can say, oh, this part of my face is clean, but this part I really need to wash well. But we know, though, that we're not really seeing our face. We are actually only seeing our face in dependence on the reflection in the mirror. So actually, it's our eye consciousness is not perceiving our face, but rather perceiving the reflection of our face. So this is something that we do know. Really, other than the tip of my nose, I can't see my face. So therefore, other than relying on a reflection that we perceive in a mirror, there's no way we can see our face. We have to have the mirror, and then what we're perceiving, though, is only a reflection. It's not our actual face. Similarly, though, when we would say if someone else looks at us, they can see our face. They can see our face, not like ourselves. We can't see our own face. But actually, they're not really seeing our face. What they're rather seeing is the appearance of our face to their eye sense power. So they, in a sense, are also only seeing a reflection not coming from the mirror, but a reflection within the sense power, the eye sense power, and it is that they are seeing.
So
that then actually means there's no one who actually sees our face. If you think about it, no one actually sees this face.
the Gagiri, Jampa Gagirista, Sunyasha, the don't the Champo Dina Shorbe, Dina Shorbe, she to a marriage called Mini, Shasa Sunyan Shagotelia, Korongi, Kishul Papi, Sunyan Sharing or Mado, Shagorova. And Dina Shintan, the one bodele Dinguru, one bodele, one book Korongi Yaduda, one book Kishul Papi, Dong Sunyan Shagorova. Chesa Shagoromado. Tibuchigasha Merva, may other Chesa Nanzu Sugi, Dongu Ip Suyende, Ganeshi Heavy Suti, Muindi Suda Ganeshi Heavy in that Ganeshi and the Sable Hotel, the Kalehorash. Minde, and somebody in some good one.
Then we think to ourselves, so what does my face really look like? I only know what it looks like through a mirror. Other people only know through their inner mirror of their eye sense power. What does my face really look like? And in fact, if I look at a collection of mirrors, some may show varying reflections that vary. Some may make my face look a little thinner, some a little fatter, some somewhere in between. So which of these can I say with certainty, that is my face? And that becomes a little confusing then. So I think this is my personal view, and I think it's quite important to think about, because if we can only come to know, even when we're coming to know objects through our sense direct perceivers, we're only coming to know them through how they appear to our sense powers. So it's like looking at a mirror, which means we're not really seeing the object. We're just seeing this reflection that arises within our sense power. We're not seeing the actual object. So this is my personal view. But I think it's important to think about, because it points us in the direction to understand that it's difficult to know how things exist in reality.
Sukti Toyaki Umbi Sheva Gigo Marwa, Gigo Mare. Majibanzada, Umbi Sudu Toyaki Umbi Sheva Gemena, Sudu Topi Samadi, Mevachar, Sama Mede. Sama Mena, the Topi Sama Mena, the Yore Latuya Marvada, Sudu Topi Sama Jena, Sudu Yore Lavor, Sudu Topi Sama Mena, Sudu Yomar Lavorva. Cesada, Womba de la Sumasha Vana. Su topi wanshiki mare, Majabanzada sumoto tungo, Su Yore Marana, Sumia, Sachagro. Dinizam, I don't think Din Su Tadu Kabla, one pole shower. Chezan one put the cup to do Shazavana, Su do one pole shower, Mare, Din Su Tong and Sama Mare, Chesa Su do Maribes, Mikasha, one put the park up Shavana, Su do Maribes, Lamna Jua Tamane and Kalihawardua.
So this is good to reflect on, to expand our mind, to make a way of thinking much broader. Because what we're seeing here is that how we perceive objects through the sense powers, how our sense direct perceivers perceive objects, is they come about in dependence on the object appearing to the sense power, like a reflection. We are not seeing the object nakedly or without this appearance first to our sense power. But if the object of the sense powers doesn't appear to the sense power, there can be no sense direct perception, no valid cognizers that are sense direct perceptions arising. And if we have no valid cognition of that object, we can't say that that object exists, because it hasn't been perceived by a valid cognizer. And this would be similar to if we cover our eyes, so we close off the possibility of an object appearing to our eye sense power, then no form appears to our eye sense power. Does that mean then no form exists? That would be really strange. So this is something to think about.
And in the do sin to train chunchu the Migune Maton Yungura, Migune Maton to train chunchu. That in a jig to train chunchu tag, Mesher or Mesher Chimbushag, then do study Then on the many to ten ordinary to ten do send me there how to go to ten Tungo. The nigger torn doing Anzuki Gallagher and only to ten many do Tung do Lagrua. Chisa Toya di Meshanala and Chambuchi Sunyendi, to ten Chunju di Sunyendi, Meshanalia, to ten Chambuchi Charge, Sunyen Chambu Tungurova. The Toa in the Man's meaning to ten Chunju, many to ten Chunju do me Tungu Lagor. Mado, when is in it to ten Chunju me Toya di Melona la Sha to get to ten Sunyen Chambu Tungur, Mado, make it Chunju the Tungo Marwa.
So similarly, if we go on that, what just appears to, all that exists is what appears to my valid cognition, and therefore if we talk about sense objects, that only what directly perceived therefore exists. What about tiny particles? We can't perceive them, and we don't at home have powerful microscopes, but those who do, they can use these powerful microscopes, and what is hidden to our sense powers appears to their sense power because of the intervening microscope. So therefore they can see tiny objects, tiny particles that we cannot perceive, that do not appear to our sense powers, and therefore cannot give rise to a sense direct perception. But if a powerful microscope is used, then what was formerly hidden, was formerly considered non-existent, suddenly appears and can be perceived.
And in the end, the Mosumi Tsema said, and Jesupabe Tsema says, Nisheva, Shevana, that do ten children do stand a Shego Mataban unit Matonche. Shego part may share the Dashi Tondu, and many to ten do somehow to children do some big some logic, how what Topash Kira, Gig Tsema Gira. Did Tsema de Carre, Mosum Tsema, Jesupabe Tsema Lamna? Jesupabe Tsema Lamna. Yagaru Chasarwa, Cousin, Migi Toya di Sunyin Chimbudi, Melona Shaji, Korum Sunyin the Tonche. Dimosum won't be shipped by Mosum door Sunyin Chimbudi. Sunyin Chimbu tell a dene, Gumtin tell a dene, many chuchu geobody, the two Semitobe Tsema de Jesupabe Tsema. Cousin Korongu Sunyin da Koron Nidi that go Java Chimbu Shirza, Korongu Sunyin Chimbu tell a dene, and many to the chuchu geobody. Chego Matena Migi Tomatuba, Sututendi, to the Yobotobe Samadi, Jesupabe Samaru Chagduala.
You spoke a little last night and this morning about the divisions of valid cognizer into direct valid cognizers and inferential valid cognizers. So let's return to those two. So if one is observing in dependence on the usage of a microscope, tiny particles, then that conceptual consciousness, those consciousnesses that are observing these tiny particles through the usage of a microscope, is this a direct valid cognizer or an inferential valid cognizer? So what it will be is what we are observing with our eye sense direct perceiver is this enlarged particle, because we're looking through a microscope. So we're seeing this very large particle, this tiny particle that's been blown up. So that is, or enlarged rather. So that is what we are seeing with our eye sense direct perceiver, and that is a valid cognizer. But we haven't seen the tiny particle. But independent on the correct reason that we have seen the tiny particle enlarged, then we have seen the enlargement of the tiny particle through the microscope. In dependence on that valid reason, we give rise to an inferential valid cognizer that tiny particle that exists, that tiny particle that without the usage of a microscope I cannot perceive. In dependence on the valid reason that what we are observing here through this microscope, we can infer that they are those tiny particles.
That means that I to get the human some Semada Jesupabe Sema, Gumsen Yada Gelatine, how can Semadel Jesupabe Sema, Gumsel Demo, how what Semadel Mosum Sema Sherwa, that do sometimes so Jike Subuna Ning Yeres, Ning Yeres, so how what Semajorwa. 아니 소수교 동 알이야 동 요라 알 암초 요라세 소수 암초 요라세 소수기 암초 요바 똑베 체마 지어봐다 니 암초디 미기네 동무선의 동미도로 와다 다야 소소 암초 요바디 김전지에 되는 게 암초 요라 예비 김전들이 김전 삼당 고민도와 지하고도 이 체마디 가르쳐 마세다 만족이 원 가서 우리 소소라는 게 소소라는 암초 요바 또베 체마 지어로 수수기를 체마 지어봐 디 모습 체마 차사레베 제수밥에 체마 차사레디 만족이 심주시야를 제바라 제바이나
Similarly, if someone were to ask us, do you have a heart beating within your chest? We would say yes, and we'd say so with certainty. If someone asks us, do you have 2 ears on the side of your head? You'd say yes, and you'd say so with certainty. But we've never seen our heart. We've never directly seen our ears. So knowing that we have a heart and we have ears, what kind of valid cognition is it that knows that we have a heart and knows that we have ears? Is it a direct valid cognizer, or is it an inferential valid cognizer?
암주여바 또비 체마디다 나 제수법에 체마 가르친 제수법에 체마레 이미 김장 소속의 셰와나 따제 아니 디 암주의 수면 샤샤 샤런도 안델링이 암주도 샘비게 체마지 용식이 제수법에 체마레라나 디다다 제수법에 체마 차기로 암주 수면 바통 수면 될 때는 암주 되는 전부 직도 샘비섬다 제수법에 체마 차기로 니네 부춘준의 갑리야 셰와 균이 매행래 다야 균이 매되는 수수 암주기 여러 샘비게 암주 여러 샘비 삼로주 여러 와다 제가 디수 체마디게 고 김제 야다든 띵교 말에 제가 되는 인자 체마 간대야 샤고나다 지게 소수기 곰비 원기게 라신기 지게 여러 샘비 삼로게 용으로 와다가 암주 여러 샘비 다디서 다들에 원숨 체마샤 암주 또비 체마되는 원숨 체라 용서제 제수베베 체마 용서제 가선 소수기 셰화나 다제 어디 두 셈비게 냠초 되는 두 셈비게 삼다면은 수년 샤와라 때네 안 암초도 배 체마제 용거와 야 소수기 곰시 되는 곰비 원기 녀만에 지게 유비 곰비 원기 야 하고 또 바제 용식으로 받아 이내다 제 체마들라 야 무슨 체마나 제수베베 체마샤 대야지 슝 디나라 디라갑레 시고 마데 슝 샨다나레 냠뇽 체마세 지시에스도아 안데네 알리기나 가레 하모다리 갈라고나.
When you think about these two divisions of valid cognition, what primarily differentiates them is that direct valid cognizer directly realizes the object, whereas an inferential valid cognizer only does so in dependence on a correct reason. So if we then try to answer the question, with which valid cognizer do we come to realize that we have ears? We would say, well, in dependence on the correct reason of seeing a reflection in a mirror, that we know we have 2 ears. So therefore, it's an inferential valid cognizer that realizes we have ears. But then what about someone who's never seen a mirror? So maybe a young child hasn't used a mirror. They will know that they have 2 ears. So what reason do they have? Do they have a valid reason to be able to know that they have 2 ears? Well, they probably have been told they have 2 ears, just like everyone that they see around them, although they've never seen it for themselves. And therefore, they are very familiar with that they have 2 ears. So this familiarity as being a reason suitable to give rise to an inferential valid cognizer is not stated in our text, but it is stated in other texts. So this is something then that one can think about further.
디수지 라칸요 말에 아니 미기요 말에 미기는 오마가요 통고 말에 이내야 고 디동국을 선배 체내 따다 동신거래 데니게 동국을 삼바다 동의 신야디 가르치었으니 녀마 공배원게 하고 거래라래 gombe wanga hago gores 지난 데니게 신야게 세마디 나 가서래 제바 세마 말바다 가서 김제 삼다요 말에 지나다 공부 온거 신반자다 나중 세마들 무슨 세마를 지수를 세마니 나네다 가서 무슨 게 세마세 아직 자루가 책으로 와다 무슨 세마로 잔마도 제자매로 또 공부 온거 신거 디나진 아 저기 암초요 바다 고요 바다 자사지 즉 김제 삼마다 다 뭐가 정할 디여여 삼비 하고야디 공부 온거 시신 와서 책으로 와 공부 온거 하고야로 책으로 와
공부 원기 세마데 문성기 세마 제파기 세마 문성기 세마래
문성기 세마로 차는마도 제바 세마 차요 말고 김제 삼다 제바 세마는 김제 삼다 고로디 김제 가야 삼다요 말
Similarly, if we think about young mammals, whether it's infants or calves or joeys, they all know from when they're born they need to drink milk, and they turn towards their mother and they drink milk. So no one has told them, they haven't done a course to know how to feed themselves. They know how to do this. So how do they know? So one here would say, well, they have a familiarization with this. They have an habituation with this. So this habituation, where in terms of the type of mind it is, which of the valid cognizers is it? Is it direct or inferential? Well, then we need to think, does this familiarization come about in dependence on a reason or not? Because that is the boundary between whether a valid cognizer is direct or inferential. So this infant or young animal is not using reasoning to know that it needs to consume milk and how to do so, but rather, so therefore this familiarization must be a direct valid cognizer. So therefore this valid cognizer of familiarity is more likely to be a direct valid cognizer than an inferential valid cognizer.
Oh yeah.
Then we can stop here for this morning. There's still quite some time, so if you have some questions, then please feel free to ask. Seppo?
In relation to the first division of sense direct perceiver, the first one, the valid cognizer, the sense direct perceivers. I just have a doubt with these three schools in how that valid cognizer actually ascertains its object, because it seems to me that it needs the support of the subsequent cognizers to have enough time to ascertain it, because that moment is just very, very brief, being new.
Okay. In terms of these three schools, the three schools who these
hold the definition of a sense.
It's new.
Valid cognizer needs to be new.
Okay. So the three schools who hold that a valid cognizer needs to be new.
That's a very short moment.
This is a very short moment. So does it come about then in dependence on the subsequent cognizer?
Since that moment, that newness is just like,
so short, how does it come to ascertain?
It seems to be needing the subsequent cognizers to be able to ascertain it.
Okay. So because that first moment is so short, it needs the subsequent moments to be able.
Need the subsequent cognizers to ascertain it.
Okay.
So how can you say that valid cognizer could actually ascertain its object?
Okay. Then let me just find it here. Then kong the Wampung zum Gitsema Katu Yode, then they also era sum Yode, then Kariwangun, then the Dampo de Tsema, they ketchik Dampo Chikpure, ketchik Dampo Chikpure, they ketchik Dampo de, very Gyopo Gyugere, Yorin Potekimari ketchik Chik, then it's us, then it's us, then ketchik.
기지 당보시도 기지 될라야 배 차람 무체와 자조메 기지마 지키세 자조메 기지마 자조베 기지바 직세데 이 그런 게 봐 또야기 봐 고주네 또네 또 찬네 또네 차비기 또반이 고존이 또 차이 내가 차야죠. 니바라기 깨지마리. 깨지 당보세. 자좀에 깨지마 직세야지. 되는 지착이 있어요.
Okay.
네 나라야 깨와 깨지 체체해요.
Okay, so I didn't finish the question, but it seems maybe this is the answer. So here, let's think of this in terms of how long a moment is. So we know it's very brief, but how long is that? So what is meant by the first moment is that period of time that it takes to realize the object. And then comes what we call the second and subsequent moments, which are the subsequent cognizer. And why we can understand, or how we can understand this, is that first moment, which is the duration of time that it takes to realize the object, that can too be subdivided. So that first moment can be subdivided. But that first moment that is the valid cognition is the time it takes to realize. As soon as it's realized, we then talk about subsequent moments.
칼라스에게 고주제 고주제 칼라스 차이로와 대디 자소비기지 마지게 대디 디나로량 코로나 디스텔레와 뭐 기지기지 당보 체어로와 망고 체어로와 대 자소비기지 마지게도 자주메기지 마지게라도 코로나게 강아도 칼라 빼샤와나 칼라스에 고주반에 손데 칼라스 다 사사바도 된디지 디스지라 자소메기지 마지게라고 다들 디나싱 안죽데 와시기지 당보 체마레스리 코롱의 유도 또하기 고주반 손데 유도 차위기 바이 디 차선에 야 기지 당보듯이 다또 차위 칼라스에 차체 다 기지 있음 두고라 데네 디 칼라스에 산에 기지 이바차디 마체셔로 디나지 또 차위 제네 안고 뒤세 양지 또하디 기지 이바 쪼서나 다 디가사 지시사 디차게서
Maybe we can understand that then if one's cooking, so then that period of cooking, many moments, then there's the moment comes, finished. And then there are all the subsequent moments that it's also finished. But there's just that very first one that's finished. But of course, each moment can be infinitely subdivided.
That's helpful, thanks. I hadn't understood that.
Yeah, again, I was using a particular term here to describe that first moment, which I just don't know. So.
Right,
So this first moment, there's an actual term for that.
That newness can come over. As I said, there's a period which
Yes.
may have many months.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
That's really good, thank you. Other questions? Yes, at the back, Cameron.
This is from last night. Last night, Geshe was talking about happiness is a state of peace and calm.
Peace and calm, yeah?
Peace and calm.
Mm-hmm.
This is the word used. What does this say of people whose aspiration is of passion? Is it saying that they are mistaken in their goals in life?
Mm-hmm. So, okay, I understand the question. I'm just trying to think of a word for passion. So passion, could only really come up with, in English we could say desire, which is going to be attachment.
Arguably, in many, for instance, in many parts of society, I don't necessarily really agree with it, but a lot of the time people speak of people having passion for their work. I don't know if that's attaching to their work, but they drive.
I can use the word attachment, I can use the word for effort, like to strive and make effort. Strong striving.
Yes,
Okay. Strong striving, okay. So for people who take happiness in striving to achieve worldly things.
Strong striving in their worldly endeavours. Are they mistaken in their goals in life because they're not pursuing the happiness of peace and calm?
Okay, thank you. Then, Dorje labna kipoema dewa de donda kare ere doktu sekere. Karensa Chitsokla, mi mampo konso leka jeyedella döndün nier chegiyare, besenje döndün nier. Karensa konso jiten gi migul tuptu kipo yongere. Ne konso jena de deware. Ini namgyung aso dewa sena di shiwa dangtrawa yare.
남유인 다 내가 저기 대화다 세야지 기우 세야다 대화 세야지 초화죠 대화스는 그냥 초화 대랑라 해야지 가랑라 해야지로 소수기 레가를 시카린다 직도나 제한테 가랑라 해야지 초화디 초화 대화를 그러죠 대화 세야지 기우 세야다 대화 세야지 남유인 지단에 고요도 초화들 고고래 초화 가랑라 해야지 대화를 제거로
So generally when we talk about happiness, then we would talk about the feeling of happiness. And the way then that we experience this in work is like a joyful feeling, an exuberance, such as what we get from work. Then it conso migyu, de noto yore, kansen conso leka ki migyu trupie döndünyer çekiyor.
자, 디디리 그 레가데 돈도니야베네 즉 레가데 돈도니에도 그 레가데 제기 되바데 두마르 슈치벨리디 는 소소게 소와티야 지가라나지 레요로와다. 지난지 그 대화를 차기로 와.
So people who do strive to achieve their worldly goals, such as success at work, they experience happiness because this is the feeling of happiness. So they feel three feelings: happiness, suffering, and neutral feeling. They experience the feeling of happiness.
Right. So this is distinct from peace and calm?
Denne, altså det var sender de shiva den løle, det den tror hjælpe.
Det var la rig manguer var det. Det var la shukchishun dan, det var la rig manguer var. 다 남중앙도 지정 그 지대 용라야 마기우도 nga 대부 인사다 nga 거부도 세디 소와티 대화래다 아는 안 주기 류야 초와 동아 영원도 마주비기 류 창엽내비 갑라 nga 대부도래 그러 초와라래 이나 다양한 대화들에 한 약류 개와 먹어로 봐 약류 가시 야가 대화 야가 즉시 대화 교화를 힘으로 제가 되는자 당아 주기 기회 자와 주제 대화래야다 양직된 대화디 띵이 준 대화래야다 안지 대화 야가로 책으로 소화를 마선하데 지 야가로 책으로
Many types of feelings of happiness. When we divide feeling, we just have the three: happiness, suffering, and neutral feelings. But within that, you can say there are many types of happiness, and this is what we refer to in our everyday life. How are you today? And we say, oh, I'm having a good day, I'm feeling well, I'm feeling happy. So there's many types of happiness. But in addition to that, we can say there are also superior types of happiness. So those superior types of happiness, or what one could call superior types of happiness, are those that result from those feelings of happiness that result from engaging in virtue, or perhaps result from the development of concentration. So these all remain the feeling of happiness. But we can again divide happiness into many different types, or happiness is experienced in many different ways, so the different types of happiness, and then we can also say there are superior types of happiness.
Just a quick question. Is it correct to say that the Tantra practice is utilizing the non-ascertaining awareness? Is that basically forms of, by using that in particular, then can lead to subsequent perception?
Okay. So is it correct that to say that in Tantra, one utilizes non-ascertaining awarenesses to give rise to subsequent cognitions?
Yeah.
Okay. Deni also ngak namnen chetu, deni dedu ngato namna nanglamane pa lo pechutakire, nanglamane pa lo ki wangju chene ngato chese kegiare. Di tak repe.
nangla mangai bikulu ondu chen di chene nangla lo ondu chen chishi yese di pashi jigmale nangla mangai bu lo di dangbo nangla mangai bu lo la tene chishi jigmale ta nga ju nga nyamle chidu ka so ji ge ri khar ki osan yiju ge deni tone ne ya yiju ge deni yiju de ne jeba chine 제바 참아서 게 림바로 용거리마도 나 라마가 불러라 지체수 지시기만.
So non-ascertaining awarenesses do not lead to the attainment of subsequent cognizers. Rather, what one tries to do in Tantra and elsewhere is is to try to cultivate correct assumptions. And in dependence on having cultivated a correct assumption, one then strives to develop an inferential valid cognition. So those are the two minds that one strives to develop. That of correct assumption and through that, inferential valid cognitions.
Oh yeah, then.
Anila Yankyatito?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would put forward that the ears are manifest to the sense direct perceivers of tangible objects.
I don't understand.
The ears are not hidden in that they're objects of the sense direct perceivers of tangible objects.
Oh, okay. So the young child who's never seen a mirror can touch their ears, and therefore know they have ears.
Yeah.
Okay.
Directly.
Deni nomekelen petsentik nangson den dekola kong dokva yare. Deni puguchung kong melong tongyong yomare deni amchok yome kandes hakokret tongyong yomare. Deni inenge samna also konso yulte also amchok de repaki yulre repaki wangpongonsum de yure nze changpuku chungchung amchok yopar hako sikire
사 lakbe redu rakja da hago mato amcho dokdodi hago marwa rakja da hago ra da rakja tela tene di reandu dokdo du sam hago andi tobale ngwa tela du sam tobale mato lugi re ongbe sheba lugi sheba digi amcho di ko dogo marwa.
So the young child will certainly be able to feel their ears, and so they will recognize this object of touch. They will recognize there is an object of touch, but they will that tangible sense direct perception will not realize ear. For that, conceptual consciousness will be required. Subsequent, or following conceptual consciousness will be required for the young child to know, oh, this that I'm touching must be an ear. But the tangible sense direct perception will not know that it's an ear. Well, there's plenty to think about here. We'll continue to talk about it this afternoon. Okay, thank you.